you know.
Tom, when did you do this stuff? Like in the seasonal plan, when did you do D zone cover?
Oh, we did D zone right away.
And that's what I'm saying
The
to all the teams. It's the
first thing
first
we
thing you
did
do.
is first thing we did, one of the first practices we had, we were at Mount Pleasant. It was a nice day, and I brought the big magnetic board. We had a picnic.
Yeah.
I put the board on one of the picnic tables, and the whole team was there, and we went over our team play. And then before our first exhibition game against the Red at Optimist, we went in the field and we went over our forecheck and our D zone.
Yeah.
The players all walked through it. So that's
Yeah.
how we started. Then we did it on the ice.
Yeah.
And
Now that's the first thing you did at the beginning of the year.
yeah.
And like I'm just exaggerating this now because I want coaches to understand this is where you start.
Yeah, it's a kind of a template.
Yeah.
There,
Yeah.
everything comes out of that, and
Yeah.
and then you got the template. Then you're learning individual skills to make it happen.
Yeah.
But it gives a context for the skills that you're doing.
Right. Right. Well, you know the the 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3 drill. You under uh, D zone scrimmage?
Yeah,
When Roberta did it at one end and Austin did it at the other, because it's only 1 against 1 and there's too much standing.
yeah,
But I prefer like the head coach to run it at one end for a couple of reps, and you put the offensive player on the boards and the defensive player on their knees, and you pass directly to them so they have full control and the game is on. Kids they couldn't handle some of the people one on one. That's where they turned their backs
yeah.
because I never realized the talent difference was so wide. So,
That's exactly what the deal is with this expansion. Is
yeah,
that's why I spent the first 4.5 months trying to get everybody up to
yeah,
a double A talent, because
yeah,
otherwise you go like these other teams we're playing. I mean, Edmonton, their top line plays 30 minutes a game
yeah.
and they score like crazy. But what's happening to the other players that are playing 10 minutes a game?
If they haven't done the walkthrough and the 1 versus 1 properly, learning how to play one on ones, well, they'd have no decent defensive zone coverage. And
No,
so finally they realize that now they're working on it. Hopefully they'll be able to get the puck out of their zone because they'll get possession. And you know the progression, you know the drill, and that 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3. So normally I would have thought they might get through 2-on-2 and 3-on-3, but no, they're taking the time to do it right and get it right. And to me, what a win-win situation for coaches to be aware of the importance of that and to do it. Something that for you and I, it's automatic. And for Kyle, he's now going to play that cross ice game with a push up rule, and he's going to do the end zone scrimmage. And if I come out another time and he hasn't, I'll do that with him. So the U13s get those progressions, and you know they've done it before they get to you. I'm not sure that Sean's done it before, but I'm going to find out. I know Roberta didn't, and it is affecting her team play. But I don't know that many coaches have done it, taught it that well. So hopefully it can become a part of the GHC routine. We can introduce it at U11 we can master it at U13, and then at U15 you still repeat it, but you don't have to do it so often. I don't know
Well,
if I know.
I've been pushing for a curriculum for hockey for so long.
Yeah,
Say I mean, it's not a new idea. I mean, every school system in the world has a curriculum.
yeah,
So when you're a grade 2 teacher,
yeah,
you know what they should have learned in grade 1.
yeah,
So you review it,
yeah,
but you don't start from, scratch.
yeah,
But in hockey and most sports, you got this whole schmoz of players that some may really, really be, good at all the fundamentals, everything like that, and some may never have heard them in their lives.
yeah,
They just grab the puck, and that's why there's so many 1-on-5 players.
yeah,
And that's the deal. So I thought it was really good in phys ed. I don't know when it happened, but there was a list of things people should learn in every grade.
yeah,
Like I remember taking basketball in grade 10
yeah,
and doing exactly the same thing we did in elementary school.
yeah,
Bounce the ball high, bounce the ball low, and all this kind of stuff. No progression whatsoever. And if everybody had a curriculum and say, okay, you learn how to play defensive side on a 1-on-1
yeah,
right at the start. And if that progression was there, coaches can do it whatever the way they want to, or there can be, if they don't have the tools to do it, have suggested you can use these drills or games to teach it.
yeah.
And I think that would help everything, that everybody came, with this toolbox of skills and knowledge.
Yeah.
Because we don't, we just, it's up to the coach.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't educated them that well, and I don't know that it's possible until they get to this level and you can get their attention to do it.
But I think a coach in U8 should be given a list and saying the kids have to know how to do these things at the end of this year.
Yeah.
You can do as much as you want. You can work on the 1-3-1 power play if you want, but they need, these skating skills, these puck handling skills,
Yeah.
the, individual defensive skills.
Yeah.
And I think that would help everything and have a progressive curriculum.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Maybe you and I should help provide an outline for U11 community. I think Sam Holmes is doing it, but of course, in her position, she's working full time, raising kids, playing hockey.
Well, that's what Yuso and I did with that 6 levels.
Yeah.
This is a model. You don't have to do this, but it's a model. They should know, at the different levels, and you get.
The 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3. National men's team, we did it twice a week for a month. And we discovered the players didn't know how to tactically skate defensively. They were overskating, turning their feet. And Kyle brought the point up after practice last night. You never do a 2-foot stop turning your feet anymore. It's always inside edges or eagles without side edges. So what I had to do back in the 80s with the national players, we had to work on toe cap square, snow plows, making sure they were controlled skating, pressuring and containing. And then we did the 1-1-2-2-3-3. We did it at least for a month, and we repeated it probably once a week or once every 2 weeks after that. And we could play the Soviets even 5-on-5 because of that. But when we had the penalty kill, it was a different story. We didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
They were that damn good, you know. And I don't know that anybody, any other country has focused on defense to the degree we have because of Dave King and because of preparing amateur players to
Well,
play.
that's what I used to see when I went to Europe.
Yep.
I used to say, if you want to practice defense, you go to Canada.
Yeah.
And you watch the practice, and most of it's focused on defense.
Yeah.
If you want to learn how to play offensive hockey,
yeah,
you go to Europe because they really didn't work on defense.
Yeah. You know, and I've always said in that regard, all the European drills seem to be outnumbered. In other words, you had an advantage and they had more room and they used the space and got open and give and go. They just played. Passing is more important than scoring. They celebrated plays, not goals, but plays. And that's the beauty of the European game. So we had to learn to defend and crash the net, but we're starting to do some pretty creative things offensively.
But yeah, the games have really, merged with all these conferences and international play and all this kind of stuff.
Tom, all your years of coaching, what do you think of today's generation that you're working with in terms of coachability?
I think for me, the kids are great. I think that there's a real problem, well, in the school systems and everything, with the lawnmower parents.
I've heard of helicopter. What's a lawnmower parent?
You remove every obstacle out of their way. The kid faces no adversity.
Yeah.
And it's like that letter I got from, what's his name?
Yeah,
I have no responsibility for them body checking our players whatsoever.
Yeah.
And there were 2-minute penalties. I'm not going to scream from the bench from missing 2-minute penalties.
Yeah.
I heard of a coach last week got suspended 4 games for screaming at the refs.
Yeah.
So, but that's a lawnmower parent. They're really mad, disgusted that we didn't, that's the term, disgusted that we didn't do something with the refs. First of all, the referees are smart enough to skate up and down the other side of the ice.
Yeah.
So they're not skating. So to get their attention, you got to scream.
Yeah.
And then you may get that.
Yeah.
I've talked to referees and they say, when that happens, I just say to myself, and you think you're going to win this game?
Yeah.
And that's a lawnmower parent there.
Yeah.
And
But you know what you experience and I experienced at your parent meeting?
Yeah.
That was helicopter parents. They're watching the game and criticizing every little technical, tactical detail. And
I would have liked names put on those things because I got a feeling there was about 5 or 6 of them doing all of the comments.
Yeah.
And well, I think a couple of them are ones that I got warned about before the season.
Yeah. Well, I thought some of the comments, and Sam mentioned him, he says, somebody that really knows a lot about hockey wrote some comments because they technically made sense. But there were nothing that you haven't talked about and I haven't talked about and you're aware of. But up there, and I don't think it's just 5 or 6. I think every parent watching their kid grow up has had an opinion about the practice and the game, and they think something that they don't know and they bring it up. It's human nature. I think it's just human nature.
Put your name on things.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's going to happen down the
It
road.
can be anonymous. It can be really mean.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be trying to work together. And
Yeah.
you should have seen in Kelowna when we were winning.
Yeah.
We were the most wonderful people in the entire friggin' world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why it was really, you know, that shouldn't have been happened. That was an ambush.
Yeah.
That wasn't the point of that meeting.
No, it was
Point
total.
of the meeting was supposed to say what we did, what we're doing now, and what we're going to do in the future. That's all I at the meeting, and then answer a few questions. But
And the reminder of what we were there for, which was.
And Lisa took it upon herself to ask people to send stuff. Then she put it all in there anonymously.
Yeah.
So, and there wasn't even one comment of, "We appreciate you guys giving up your time," or,
Yeah.
You know, there wasn't one comment.
Yeah.
I wrote Amanda about it yesterday, and I just said, not one positive comment.
Yeah.
And I said, it's really, and I had my young coaches come to see what parents were like.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know if they're going to want to coach after being to that meeting.
Yeah.
Because we all know we've covered all those things that you talked about.
Yes.
And we all know that the whole point of we're letting everybody play, and we changed it a week or so ahead because what had happened the night before against Red Deer.
Yeah.
We're behind, I think 2-1 at the time. And we get a power play, and the top line had just come off the ice, so Jim didn't want to put him on the power play. But then there was about a 45-second delay of the clock or something like this. And I was going to say, well, you should put them on, and you put these other, about the third rate kind of players on there.
Yeah.
And it was in our end the entire 2 minutes. I couldn't even get off.
Yeah.
So, and then Ryan, who's been way better, but she gets behind the net, and she's got 2 forecheckers on her. They always send 2 forecheckers.
Yeah.
And she's dingling and dangling and bouncing off the net and back to herself, and about 5-6 seconds with these 2 girls chasing her behind our net.
Yeah.
And she sees our D in front of the net. So she gives a backhand pass, trying to pass to our D. She passes right to their player who shoots it in the open. And that's when we decided, well, we're just going to go with, we're going to start bench coaching tomorrow. And then we beat Okotoks, so we bench coached.
Tom, the passing to the front of your net, it's pretty common in the NHL now, eh?
Yeah, but you got to make sure you pass to the right team. I even see the Flames passing the wrong team sometimes.
Yeah.
They bobble the puck a little, if you don't get it nice and flat, puck doesn't, and you pass right. Calgary's done that a couple of times the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They passed to the other team in front of the net. But
Well,
she passed. The girl had a wide open net. I mean, the girl standing there, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
She just shot it in the wide open net. We lost 3-1.
But positive thing about that, whether it's the Flames or your star player taking risks, is back in our day, it was shoot it out and shoot it in. And they are doing things, possessing the puck, trying to make decisions. They're high risk. And the reward gets it out at times. But when Johnny Gaudreau came to Calgary, I always thought he's the highest risk player I know.
Yeah.
But he could do it. He was capable of taking the risks and not costing you. So you let him do it. But back in our day, you didn't let anybody do that.
Oh, no, for sure. But you know what? She's got an innate ability. I think it's her brain reads where the other player's skates are, right? Like you talk about defensive skating.
Yeah.
She recognizes that a player's toe caps are pointed towards the right board, so she goes towards the left board. They can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really stick out. Like she doesn't do toe drags or
No, you're right.
it's all with her feet.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know, I'm amazed how she goes through all these players, and I don't think I've ever seen a player that can do that like that.
yeah. You know, Daryl Belfry talks about reading the defender's skates.
Yeah. Well, I think she does it innately.
Yeah.
You know that, like she wiggles through consistently, and a lot of teams send two players on her,
Oh, for sure.
and it's incredible. And then last weekend, she scored two slapshot goals. The
Yeah,
3-1 loss.
I watched the
She did
highlight.
the crossbar.
Yeah.
And then the last game where we beat Okotoks, she scored on a slap shot on the power. We scored 3 power play goals.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting to watch her, and she's way better. She's not turning back every time, and like she was before.
Yeah.
And she's not skating to the left corner every time.
Yeah.
So she's made quite a bit of progress in her game.
Well, your whole team's improved, Tom, and I think you've developed everybody to the point now that you're going to manage the bench and get the people out in right situations, playing everybody, but in right situations, and you're going to have success. And I'm convinced, Tom, if all the teams do this D zone progression, pay attention to it, that you will beat the best teams because of that. Because
I agree. If you do the D zone, see what I've found with our team is we don't get beat because they break us down in the D zone.
Yeah.
We get beat because we give the puck away. And we're all going one way, and all of a sudden somebody gets the puck away, and they're
right.
It's more puck management than anything.
Yep. Well, each team has its weakness. You recognize yours. When I watched the U15 game and I saw it was 4-2, Tom, and minute left in the second. They had just scored the second goal to make it 4-2. And there's a minute left, and the puck in their zone, the other team had it. And just like you said, defensive zone cover, the wingers were at the ringette line. F3 was sitting between the hash marks, pass, shot, goal. And that to me was, wow, 5th goal, 4-2 into the second period.
Yeah.
Those goals are worth 2 or 3 when you score in the last minute. And so it caused me to place more emphasis on the D zone cover.
Yeah, well, it's important. Like the only place we've really gotten beat is off the wall.
Yeah.
That the low forward or the centerman not picking up that player.
Yeah. Well, that's the man on. The switch there, that's when the man on has to get on them right away, not hesitate and give them room. And that's the principle of man on, box behind is get that woman on right now. Quickly make that switch.
Well, that's why we're going to go over it for 15 minutes today.
Yeah.
Just to get that. Because some of the really good players, that's where they score from. And we've scored some goals on that too. Tessa's finally started walking off the wall and shooting it.
Yeah.
The thing I've noticed about this league is the goaltending is not good. Like if you can shoot the puck through a little bit of a screen and not hit the goalie, you got a pretty good chance of scoring.
Yeah.
They're not that great.
Well, I think they're technically really sound, but there are some players that can shoot. And
the girl in Edmonton shoots like a midget boy, a band boy.
Well, Tom, you've talked about D-zone cover and that idea of getting on the player right away. When you play 3 versus 3 in the D-zone, that's when you switch. That's when you got to get on the player. That drill sequence, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, I would do it again and again, a few more times, not just the walkthrough, but then the breakdown of the tactical skating 1-on-1 and the read and act of switching with those low 3 players so that every player can handle the 1-on-1 in the D zone.
We did one of Ruotsalainen's drills, which I think is a great one. The puck carrier skates they're all at the red line. Puck carrier skates back, touches the blue line, and the defender skates back, touches the other blue line, and then it's a 1-on-1. And it goes one way, then the other way. So
But that's a rush drill.
I know, but it's still staying defensive side.
Yeah.
And, playing the defense. And then we talk about when they shoot, you got to box them out, take their stick, which is, once they're in the zone.
See, I don't see any connection between that and the D zone 1-1, 2-2, 3-3.
Well, sure there is, because you're going at the player and they're coming at you. So you've got to try.
It's got purpose, but they're going along the wall. You're skating with them. It's an evasive tight turn. You've got to don't let them walk the seam. Like, I don't see a relation of Ruotsalainen's drill. It's a rush drill, setting a gap, vertical, horizontal. The 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3 low is tight play on the wall, maintaining D side, not getting beat off the wall. So I don't see the connection there.
Well, I do, because it's playing on the D side and keeping a tight gap and boxing out. It's the same thing, because they get close to your goal after. It's not exactly the same, but it has the same concepts. But we do both, so.
Yeah, well, as long as you're progressing from the D-zone cover to D-zone tactical play. Rushes are one thing that relates to it, but that kids at this age, like I see most of the other teams, their D can't skate backwards. Yours can transition and skate backwards because you do that warm-up drill where you cover every facet of all direction skating with a puck and without a puck. So teams might have trouble with the Ruotsalainen drill because they can't skate backwards or transition. But the D-zone drill, everybody can skate forwards. They got to control it. They got to angle. They got to use their stick. It's different tactical skills. Same kind of thinking. Keep them on the outside.
I'm not arguing with you all. I just said we've done both. And anytime you work on defense, you're, it's the same basic principle. You're just closer to the net.
Yeah. Have you had any practices with the U13 teams yet? Have you run a practice with them?
No, we haven't.
Okay, because Ben's doing that tonight with Kyle's team.
Who's Ben?
Ben Connolly, U18. Yeah, he's U18. So that's something that Jordan and Ben have done over the years.
Okay.
They run the practice. The girls, they do the same drills with the girls, and it really turned out to be a pretty good team builder. Where are you practicing tonight?
I have to look it up.
Oh, I'll get it. I'll be able to find it.
Yeah. Just get that thing on here. It's usually Henry Viney, but I'm not sure.
Might be 4 o'clock at Viney, I think.
4 o'clock, Henry Viney.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I send a thing out today to the players about the Dino Cougars games.
Yeah.
The men play at, I think it's 4:30.
Yeah.
And women, I'm guessing, play at 8. I get things from the teams. Both of them. both of those teams. And I just said, girls, if you want to see the level, you need to get to, and it's a great atmosphere with about 12,000 university students.
Oh, yeah.
Be really worthwhile, so they know, kind of they're going blind sometimes because they don't watch any hockey, basically.
Yeah. I think it's even a good idea to take the team to watch a midget AAA game. And the U13 should be watching your games because, they think they can play at that level. They got to want to come and watch a game to decide whether they really can.
Well, like I said, I could not believe the difference in the tryouts. Like
Oh.
our girls who are good U13 players
Yeah.
were totally ineffective out there. Like Comey, she
Yeah.
dominated in ours.
Yeah.
And she was getting burnt like crazy.
Yeah.
Olivia wasn't fast enough.
Yeah.
No,
it's a learning experience, but I think during the year, next year, I would say a team builder would be go to a midget, have the U13s go to your game and have the U15s go to a AAA game. Just to see the level. Going to Mount Royal is huge.
Yeah, but that's basically their goal, their end goal.
Yeah. I'm just saying, appreciate you're going to be affiliated.
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying that the end goal is to go there, like, the girls there can actually shoot the puck. And we've got you that can shoot the puck, but just show if that's really their goal, you should have some idea what you're aiming for, not just this pie in the sky playing college hockey. Well, what is college hockey?
Yeah. Well, Tom, when I was in high school, I hitchhiked to Saskatoon and I watched Father Bauer's team, UBC, play.
Yeah.
And, I was playing senior hockey. I was in grade 12, but I was playing midget. And I saw that hockey, and that's when I said I want to play that hockey. It was so good. The hockey was so good.
Yeah.
I didn't have any idea of, like, I have to learn to shoot better. I have to learn to skate and pass better. I just, from an entertainment point of view, I saw the hockey. I wasn't able to say, gee, I have to get better at this. I have to get better at this. So I don't know when kids watch a game whether they can take their level of performance in their minds and realize there's quite a gap here.
Well, I think they can say, yeah, I got to get better.
Yeah.
Or they may say, I'd love to play in front of 12,000 people.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's a motivator for sure. Listen, I sent you Paulette's phone number about bringing up some U13 players and giving them a chance to really find out.
I want to bring up her daughter at the start, see how she is. Because we only get these 2 practices a week. So.
Yep. Well, figure it out. But from an organizational point of view, I've learned, you've learned, U13s playing games, we might have 1 or 2 that can play and contribute. And not 12, as many as we've got listed in games. But by practicing, they get an idea of how the different level is. The parents watch them at practice and realize, wow, we got a long ways to go.
Yeah, it's just huge growth years. And I think it's the puberty thing too.
Yes.
Girls, they hit puberty at about this age. Not very many wee girls do.
Yeah.
Like we got our number 19. She seems to be way ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
As far as that goes. And but the most it's a big difference in that part of their growth is most of the girls by 14 are, into puberty.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. And then they go to midget. It's another ball of wax. Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's the fun part of you and I involved in female hockey. We get to see them at all ages. I see them at all ages all year. And you last year U13, this year U15, before U18, AAA, AA. Oh boy, you know what it takes.
On the college, both on the college and the pro too. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, look, Tom, I got to run. Thanks very much. Boy, it's great having Hal on. Just so good. He could do just have questions. That's all I'm going to do is have questions for him to ask.
Let everybody know about the meeting. Nobody's coming on anymore.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if anybody would be on.
Well, people aren't going to go on unless you tell them we're going to be on.
Yeah. Well, I'll promote it, but right now I'm a little bit overloaded, and I've been trying to get Al Andrews to be a guest. I thought he would be on, but he had to drop out because of his diabetes yesterday. And the only next guest I have in mind is Carla McLeod. I watched her game last night. She lost in overtime at home to Minnesota, and the games are online. They're not all on TSN, but she sent me the link, and so I got to watch the game, and pretty damn good hockey. So the girls can play pro now, and that's gives them another option. That's good to see.
I was watching some of the New York Montreal game a couple of days ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I think New York's doing pretty good. Howie Draper's, he's got his defense first focus, and he's getting results with it.
Well, I don't think it's a bad idea because the players are there because of their offense.
Yeah.
So that's already kind of a given. So
yeah,
get everybody to play defense, and then you're on offense more because you get the puck from the other team.
Yeah. Good point, Tom. I'm going to phone Carla and tell her that. That's a very good point because Carla had way more offense, but lost the game.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good point. I'm going to give her a call and having watched the game and just say that's my observation because it is, if you're very good at that, taking away opportunities and gaining possession, there was too many breakdowns and clear-cut chances in the D zone. So, okay, Tom, take care. Thanks for your time, and we'll try to promote it a bit more next week. And maybe I'll just say, Hal, you're going to be a guest, and we'll have questions for you.
Well, that'd be good because USA Hockey, he might be the guy that's produced the most in USA Hockey over the years.
Yep. So I may formally say, Hal, we need you to be the guest. We're going to have questions for you, and we want you to do most of the talking.
Yeah, well, he's really good. I like him, and he contacts me, on my Facebook thing there, and I got these guys that want to put stuff on my Facebook.
Yeah.
They wait. I texted one of them, this Tim Turk, who's a shooting coach, NHL, and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then this other guy's sports psychologist. And their little trick is to wait till I post, and then they send their stuff so that they're the first posts, eh?
Yeah.
First thing that people see.
Yeah.
Happen to me, like I asked the sports psychologist, can you please send your stuff before I post?
Yeah.
And this Tim Turk, 15 minutes after I post, his stuff comes. And they both have companies that they show stuff, but then there's links to their companies, eh?
Yeah.
So they want to get
they get hits.
Yeah, well, they want people to go to where they make money from.
Yeah. Well, they're making a living, so big deal.
Yeah. Well, I kind of don't.
we'll keep making a difference. We're making our living and we're living well, so that's good enough for me anyway. So take care, Tom.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna plan my practice here.
Okay.
We're gonna do a bunch of the breakouts that we don't stand around because everybody bases everything on the pinch. And if you break